Let's bring in Melius Research, Head of Technology Research, Ben Reitzes. Got a buy rating on Nvidia. Ben, welcome. So the way I see it, the bearish argument on Nvidia from here is this, that it's going to shift the whole industry's focus from how many GPUs, how many accelerators can I get as soon as possible to drive the best outcome, to how can I get the best AI results using the fewest compute resources, because up until now there was little downside to overspending. Now the risk is China's going to embarrass you.
Well, we call this the inverse Sputnik moment, where Sputnik in 1957 caused the space race and massive spending. Now we had potentially an event that causes the reverse, causes the reverse Sputnik, which is less spending. And we have to see what happens, John. There's a couple dynamics here, okay? So the common sense reaction is sort of what happened today. I mean, the CapEx is going to fall off a cliff, if not this year, then next year, as folks realize they don't need the state-of-the-art best Ferraris to drive the AI car. What I think is that adoption should go up. There should be quite a bit of adoption because it's going to be made cheaper if folks use the techniques that DeepSeek is going to use. And so what might happen is we might see a ton of adoption and a lot more inferencing and maybe increase the demand for chips. So we really have to see. We're going to get a lot of information, though, this week with Microsoft and Meta reporting. Why did these guys just reiterate their CapEx literally last week, literally on Friday? And then all of a sudden something's going to happen that causes that to tank. So we're going to have to look at it. I'm kind of skeptical of the reaction of the market. Think it could be overblown. But I acknowledge what I don't know. Huh. So
Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, wrote about this paradox, the idea that if you make the resources cheaper, it's actually going to drive demand, make them more efficient. But it could also shift the balance of power in the AI ecosystem, right? The way that Linux, open source, did in enterprise infrastructure 25 years ago?
It's possible, John. I mean, what I think here is that really these open source models are open to the public. You can use them. You can see how they work. And what was scary about this one was that even though we think that it costs way more than $6 million, they had probably hundreds of millions in research before that. It still looked cheaper to train and cheaper to inference. But in terms of what NVIDIA has built with developers being able to use the platform and then the AI enterprise software and some of the other things that they have within the ecosystem, I think that's going to be a tough thing to dislodge. And if inferencing surges, you may still need a Ferrari. But we sure do want to hear from them a little more than the public statement that they said today. I think that they're in quiet period, but hiding behind quiet period when your stock's down this much is not probably a good move. I would advise them to kind of, over the coming days, come out with something that's a little more substantive. A lot of customers are watching this market.
Ben, you just mentioned Meta, which actually finished the day higher, looking at our screen just a few moments ago. How does this set the stage for the hyperscalers and other mega cap tech names that begin reporting this week?
Well, look, Meta just said they're going to spend 60 to 65 billion. It is looking like an astute, brilliant move to obviously open source this and have AI proliferate. They obviously benefit the cheaper the technology gets, and the cheaper the technology is for folks to develop great ads and content for their platform. So that's what their motivation is. And obviously they went up, people got it right away. There's a couple other companies that I think could benefit as well. Obviously Apple increases usage of AI. I think folks will need more smartphones, and obviously shows that they were pretty smart to kind of let this thing shake out if indeed things get cheaper. But Meta was a good move for them to do that. And I think a lot of folks can benefit. The one thing, Morgan, I would say is the jump to increase your holdings of SaaS. I would caution against that. The consensus today was, though, I got to cover my SaaS shorts because it's going to be cheaper for them to use AI. It's also going to be cheaper for a lot of competitors to disrupt the Adobes, the Salesforces, and all the guys that are scrambling right now.